Yes. Welcome to today's episode of Stream. And I am sitting with Lynn Rountree, the highly recognized jazz professional. Right? Did I get that right?
That's real professionals, but you can make a little.
You can hold your mic to your mouth.
You can make it a little cooler, yeah. But that's all good. Okay. It's all good.
Well, Mr. Rountree,
jazz professional.
Is it my turn? Okay, this guy has numerous albums that showcase his talent and style, from soul to R&B to funk, and we love you for it. You know, you have catchy melodies, soulful sounds, and for some reason you just keep going and going and going.
Right. That's the professional part, right?
That's the professional part, as you should, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I thank you for being here today. Audience, please welcome Mr. Lynn Rountree. We have claps and everything. You can't hear
him. That's all good. I appreciate it.
We're going to run through your background real quick because we know that he started early. He went to college, played in the band for a black fraternity. He pledged the band wasn't a black fraternity, but it was kind of, it was like a black fraternity.
Black. Yeah, it was like.
Okay, and then you went to
Drumline. You've seen that movie.
Went to FAMU.
What a FAMU.
Pledged Omega. Put down the horn.
Well, yeah, but you got to skip. The band was called the Marching 100, so you got to give credence to that.
Credence to the Marching 100. Then we moved up north when we put down our thing, and then somebody said, "Hey, here's $50 to play in the wedding."
Absolutely, let's do it.
And from then, I can hear my phone, Shani. From then, you decided to make money.
Yeah, no. So the story is, one of my fraternity brothers hired me to play at his wedding because he remembered I was a trumpet player. So I had put my horn down after college for about a year. And then when he gave me that call, I got my chops back together. He said there was another one of the bros named James Austin. Shout out to James Austin. Awesome keyboard player, lives in New York now. But at that point, we were both coming up, and so we decided to get together and learn some little jazz tunes to play at the wedding. We did. We made $50 a piece, and my professional side. I'm gonna mess with you about that. My professional side went into action, and that's when I decided, look, let me get back on the horn because this is an opportunity not only to get another source of income, but beyond that, it's just a release and something that I didn't want to lose as a part of my life.
Can I tell the audience something? Usually he's way livelier than this, but he's tired, right?
No, I'm good. I'm warming up. See, this is the problem when you know somebody. They get in all your business, right?
I'm not in your business. I'm just you're like, another interview with another podcaster.
No, I'm being cool right now. We'll be good. We'll be good.
Okay, I'm gonna stop messing with Lynn right now. Okay, so we want to talk about some of the insight of the creative process of creating music. That's redundant, but how does that process go for you when you decide that you want to make a new album?
Well, that's interesting because that's what I'm doing right now. So I've got 8
Is that
CDs
why you're so tired?
to date. No, I'm not tired.
Okay.
I've got 8 CDs to date. I'm keeping it cool, right? So that you can understand. You'll be bouncing all around, and this young lady's beautiful, but she's lively with her colors. So I'm providing a contrast in the moment, right? I don't need to be like this because she's already like that. She's got some beautiful colors on. So, but in any case, that's what's going on right now. My process for this record, after 8 CDs, you got to think I've probably written, 15 songs for each CD because every song doesn't make it. So creatively, sometimes you get exhausted. Mm-hmm. And so there are each record has its character, each, process. Each record is its own process.
Okay.
So there's different ways of approaching, writing the music. And early on, I had all of this creativity. And I just put songs down, made songs, and then shipped them out to producers who could really put them together and really paint them the way I wanted to paint them, but I didn't have the skill set to do so. But that gravitated to me now, progressing to me being able to put songs together myself, understanding and learning, get the right guys in, the right mix of people to play on the tunes and producing the records yourself. Then that evolved into me collaborating with other producers.
Then we'll talk about that.
Yep.
Now, you say you may make about 15 songs per album.
Yeah.
How do you decide which album? Do you do like a test group or something?
Well, you A and B everything. You sit there and listen to all your songs, because for me, when I make albums, I want the album. I want you to be able to. I want to tell a story. Mm-hmm. I want you to be able to put it on and take you through a journey on that particular album. So the whatever, whatever's in the context of the album, and whatever theme you're trying to present with that particular album, I want it to fit and flow. Mm-hmm. And so some songs just don't flow. And so I'll play the songs. And in fact, for me, it's very important to, I don't just put songs on the CD in whatever order. I tell a story. So my intro song, the song that grabs you initially on the album, when you put that album in or when you first pull up number one, it's got to be something that grasps and pulls you in to be able to take you on a journey. So I treat it like a DJ would, a set, at a show. So, but back to your question. So now, after all of that, after all the collaborations, 8 projects, all these songs, I'm now looking for themes. And where I'm on right now, and I can disclose this a little bit, you'll be the first one to hear this, right?
Oh, well, why don't you look into the camera and tell them? Because I like being the first.
I'm telling you.
Okay, well, tell me.
And
because I wasn't never called for a test group to listen. So
they can listen to our inside scoop, right?
Okay.
So right now, I've really been enjoying, and I've known for years this producer, but a Detroit legend, Jay Dilla, right?
Okay.
I knew of him because I had moved here by then before he passed untimely, and I had been in the circle with a lot of different people who crossed paths with him, and I've always, particularly Ant Fiddler. Mm-hmm. Ant Fiddler is somebody that helped me on one of my projects and helped me evolve as a producer, and so I spent a lot of time with Ant. He's featured on a couple of my records, and so with that, I feel like the music is getting more organic, and particularly with now that smooth jazz, as it is, contemporary jazz, is starting to evolve as well.
Are you going to let me ask my questions, or are you just going to keep reading through my cue cards? Because that's my question.
But you're asking. So first.
So I was going to say.
Family. Hold on. First, she said I wasn't animated, right? Then I start on a story. She asked me a question. She asked me, how do I evolve and how do I create music?
So
I haven't even answered that yet. But I had to set the story up. I had to set the story up, right? How do I evolve? So I had to show you where I was.
I remember that.
In terms of the music, I had to tell you how I got to this point, right, with the music. And now I have to tell you and answer your question is, what is my creative process?
Right.
Well, I haven't answered it yet.
Okay, because I was like, you show answering question 3.
Yeah, but that's good because I'm going in depth. I'm speaking. I'm talking. You don't, make your life easy.
I know. I
can tell a whole story and answer a lot of your questions.
So what is the creative process?
Can I finish?
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you. I can finish. So now the creative process for this record, and I'm letting you guys we can go back into the creative process because Dilla is an important figure in music and in the type of music that I love.
Absolutely.
I love soul music. I love neo soul. I love that whole early 90s vibe. And I've always wanted, because the landscape of smooth jazz is changing now. We don't have to be beholden to a certain format now. It's changing. It's changing. So that's my creative process now, is evolving to now retroactively go back and really play and create music that I love with a soul influence, heart soul. So I'm pondering the name to the next CD, and that will give you a description of what the CD is going to be about. The soul of
Lake.
Tree. No. Running into the lake.
Run into
the lake, right?
Yeah, dive in.
Lake Minnetonka.
That's where it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but the creative process is now I'm coming up with these deep soul-based grooves. I'm really, really listening to everything Dilla. All of my listening, and that's my first process, is why I listen. I do a lot of listening, and I surround and immerse myself in something that I want to create. So that I can hear, and I can hear all the different elements. And so then once I listen to that and absorb all of that is where then the output of the creative process comes. And I guess maybe we can go into that.
Right.
That's how it starts.
So the crazy part is one of the questions I have here is that the evolvement of jazz music.
Yeah.
And you notice the change, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, because you're changing with it. Mm-hmm. And then the next question was going to be, where do you find yourself in that change?
Yeah.
But I guess
no. I mean, we can answer that as well. I find myself within the change, at the forefront of the change.
You are the change.
Because here's the deal. I see a lot of people coming up after me who still feel like they need to create a smooth jazz record, and so they need to listen to all of the old cats. Maybe that's not politically correct. Some of the more mature cats,
you are the
some
old
of the more
cat.
weather cats. I don't consider myself an old cat. I still, because of this industry and because of politics in this industry, I'm still on the outside looking in. If you can believe that, there are certain politics that go along with this industry that keep that, and that I actually like that. I used to get frustrated with that. I like that because it keeps me close to the new stuff, and it allows me not to be locked into smooth jazz, which a lot of people are locking themselves into now. Some of you young cats who are out here trying to be in smooth jazz, you're trying to make a smooth jazz record and trying to sound like, I hear a lot of young people sounding like everybody else is on the radio for the last 20 years. That's not where music is going. And because me being on the outside looking in still, as I consider myself, and being a trumpet player, which is not a typical instrument in smooth jazz, you got on one hand, you can count all of the big trumpet players that are in smooth jazz, Rick Braun, Chris Bodie, Cindy Bradley. That's about.
I was like, I only know one, Lynn Rountree.
Right? So that also affords me the opportunity to be different. I don't have to sound like a sax player and play some smooth jazz stuff.
Right.
I can present with different types of music that a little bit on the edge, but right in the pocket where radio still play it. And so that's where I am right now. And so to answer your question, I feel like I'm on the forefront of changing where the music is going because now I have the credibility. You don't have the credibility first, so you can't change stuff.
So with this new album that you're working on, will we get some hip hop? Like, will we get a little, I know you said neo soul, but will you try to bring it into more
absolutely.
hip-hop?
So I've got a song that I snuck into smooth jazz that actually ended up on the radio that's actually has a hip hop beat called Amplified.
Okay.
And they actually played it on the radio. It's got a straight hip hop beat. And so I want to integrate, as you said, more hip hop rhythms. I'm looking at those Afro beats. I want to integrate a lot of the Afro, what is it, Tyler and a lot of these type of artists. I love that music. I love that vibe.
Yes, we love that
Masego,
vibe. Yes.
he's on some different stuff.
Yes, he is.
What really tipped me off to Masego is that we used to have a really strong neo soul scene here in Detroit.
Right.
Back in the late 90s,
early
2000s. It was neo, and people were, hungry for these poetry sets and the Key Club and everything.
And that just had that conversation. Like, right? it disappeared in a matter of a year or two.
Well, yeah, it kind of just went away. And I don't know where the people went. I'm like, the people are still here, but I guess
we had kids.
They had kids. But when I went to see Masego down at, and I was just on a humbug. Let me go by Shane Park because I had played there earlier. I said, let me go see some of my folks at Shane Park, and Masego was there. It was sold out, and people were like, one of the promoters there was Suleiman was like, I don't even know who this guy is. He was like, but they told me to book him.
Yeah.
He was like, I've never heard of this guy. He was like, but he sold out.
Yeah, he did.
And I was like, I see some of the old faces that I saw back in the day and some of the poetry sets, some of the neo soul sets. I'm like, man, all these people are still here. And Detroit has, based on music, Detroit has always been at the forefront in terms of R&B music and that type of a lot of different genres of music. Detroit's always at the forefront. Right. And so it's always a good barometer to tell you what is happening around the country. And if we can pull this many people out that we've never seen we haven't seen in years, what do you think other cities are experiencing or lacking?
I'll tell you.
And so that's where I am with the music.
I'll tell you. I think this year I've seen Tank and the Bangers and Moonchild. And everybody was looking at me like, you don't know where I just happened to win some tickets. Yeah. And I was in there like,
well, you never heard of Moonchild. Come on now.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying not you, but a lot of people.
Right. That's how they were looking at me.
Up on Moonchild.
No. That's how they were looking at me. Speaking of Shane, are you playing Shane this year?
Well, we don't know yet. They call me last minute sometimes, when somebody cancels out. But no, I'm just kidding. But I haven't been official. I'm not officially on. Okay. Usually you take some time once you do Shane Park. Did it last year, so I probably won't do it this year unless somebody cancels out and I'm around and they say, hey, can you come do Shane Park because they know I can.
You was with Patrice Rushen last year.
Thank goodness, yes. Before I was with Rochelle Farrell, and that was a mess.
Okay.
But
would you like to tell us a little? Well, okay.
Patrice Rushen was so cool. She's so dope, man.
Now, let's dive into that a little bit. We don't have to stick on it, but what is the difference between that being cool and the other one being a mess? What does that mean for you?
None. Rochelle Farrell has just changed, so she's special now.
Okay.
And everybody will tell you she's special. So it was really, really weird.
Okay.
I mean,
it was weird for
you.
You.
It was packed, but Rochelle's not Rochelle anymore. Something's going on.
Okay.
So that's that. I don't want to badmouth anybody or her, but mentally something's going on with her.
I'm a social media person, so I heard the vibe.
To me, she's not. She wasn't doing well.
Okay.
All right. So and then. It was a mess of a concert. We did our thing, but it was just, when people look back at the concert, it's all people, oh, Lynn Rountree was great, but Michelle Rowe was a mess. Oh, my gosh. And so I'm associated with that all the time,
yeah,
right?
you are.
So, but the Will Downing one was great. I was with Will, that was great. I went down and played with Najee, called me and asked me to come down and sit in with him. I played with him, and then Patrice Rushen last year. So
now, one of the things we talked to, and you mentioned off camera that we've known each other for about 17 years now.
17.
So I had the opportunity to see your evolvement in performing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People hints the banter back and forth. We're
Yes.
not, we know each other. We've known each other for a long time. So
17 years.
So this is brother and sister banter, right?
So I had the chance to see you go from standing in one spot to you all over the place now. Like, you're jumping off of stages and stuff. And now I was like, what's wrong with this brother's knees? Like, he got knees. Like, did he just jump off the stage?
I still have to soak them after the show. That's what 17 years does.
But you've evolved in your performance. Have you ever had one that just stuck out for you?
Yeah, when I played, I went to Africa. I played in Kampala, Uganda, and played the Jazz and Soul Safari, the 9th annual Jazz and Soul Safari. There were 10,000 people in the audience.
Oh, wow.
And they were all beautiful Africans. And there were another 5,000 people on the hills trying to see what was going on. They imported a stage from Europe. And it was me, Jakeem Joyner, and Maxie Priest. And it was just a phenomenal experience, one, just to be in the motherland, and not just on the coast or somewhere. We were in Uganda. That is Central Africa. That is next to the Congo.
Right.
You were at the birthplace of the Nile. That's where the Nile starts.
Wow.
And so, it was just, I was there for a week. And I had a lot of different experiences with the African people, the people of Uganda, and they look just like you and I. I mean, they have the technology, the phones. They're not sitting around with flies on their faces like people see them. I mean, there are some impoverished areas, but
there's some here.
Right,
and people sitting around with flies on their face.
Flies on their faces, eating flies, whatever. But but there, and the people were just beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's beautiful, man, and. I mean, all different shades, and they spoke English, obviously, because Uganda's in English. They founded English. They did kind of the same thing they did here. When they found the country, right?
We found the country,
and we have to, whatever. We'll talk about that. That's a different conversation. But they all spoke English. But it was just a great experience. And when I went off stage, it was just, the energy that they just provided. And the way that they just embraced the music, they're like 10 years behind America with regards to smooth jazz and contemporary jazz.
Okay.
So they're really, really excited about it. It was one of the greatest experiences that I've had playing.
I love that. So no one's ever tried to take off your clothes or had, it ain't no jazz freaks out there that want to jump on the stage butt naked because you got a horn?
No, jazz people
freaks.
Jazz people are a little more refined, right? Jazz people are a little more refined.
Oh, it's just me.
They don't do that. They don't do that out in the open, right?
So they just wait for you in the hallway when they're coming out of shade. Jazz freaks.
No, they don't do that either. They don't let you know anything. They don't let you know anything. You just hear some of the stories from some of the other people, not me. But you hear stories from some of the other people, and you say, "Oh, okay.
Not me."
okay, there it is. But no, it's the thing about jazz is you have a professional,
professional
audience and crowd. And but they're not so professional that they're not as far removed from their clubbing days.
Right.
You know, so again, you asked, what do I bring to jazz? Well, my flavor and my brand of music, when you see me, you come to my shows. If you would come to any of my shows anymore, you stop coming. But if you start coming to my shows again, you will see and feel the energy in the room. You'll get up and dance. You'll feel like you can't go into an R&B concert.
Well, speaking of one of his shows, we're going to go to a clip. And we can all watch it together and go to the show.
Amen.
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 You are funny. Are back. That was a phenomenal performance. Look at you living a dream.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago in Chicago. And, look, what I do on stage, you said jumping on and off the stage, I just like to bring a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm a lot
I wish you would have brought some of that here.
Well, I don't get the calls here. People think I'm gone, right?
I'm talking about to the show stream
now. What you want me to do? Jump
off the chair.
And do jumping jacks? No, we're not doing that. You got to come to the show for jumping jacks.
You looked amazing up there. You looked happy.
I am happy. You know what?
Wait a minute. Cut. You looked amazing up there. You looked happy.
I am happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy. When I get up on stage is my sweet spot. The traveling musicians is tough because you do all of this traveling. You travel for hours and hours and hours and go through the airports and everything and deal with the promoters and the logistics and the band and the music and trying to make sure you're right, CD sales, merchandising, and this is all for an hour's worth of performance on stage. So you have hours and the preparation that goes into it can be days and days and days,
right,
for an hour's worth of performance. So once all of that is I've done all of that for a show and I hit that first note, I still get butterflies in my stomach because I still honor the music and I honor the patrons. I honor the audience. I just want to make sure everything is going right. And so I want to make sure the horn, they can hear it, the band knows what they're doing. And so once all that's in, they hear that first song. When I play every day at all of my shows, I start out with Every Day. It's the first song I ever wrote in my life. And I start because I know how to gauge the band and the audience from that one song. And I also gets my juices pumping when I play Every Day. And so that's where you see that, boom, I'm coming out every day playing that, hitting. I'm sweating by the time that song is over. I'm in a full sweat. And so then I bring it down a
So
little
why
bit.
were you wearing a full suit?
Because that's where I had to be. It was the
You look
environment.
hot.
It was the environment. I had to wear that. You rarely see me in suits on stage.
I noticed that.
So, but that was an indoor environment, and I have to be, I have to accommodate the environment.
So you say traveling, and you do a lot of traveling, and tomorrow you're leaving?
Leaving tomorrow for the Arizona Jazz Fest.
Okay, the Arizona Jazz. Any of my Arizona fans out there? I know I got like one. He's going to be out there tomorrow playing with.
Well, I'm doing my own show, but on the show you have, it's a who's who
Oh, is it
lineup.
like several
Yes.
stages and stuff like that? I've never been
there's
to a
two-
festival before.
Well, we got to get you to a festival. The festival is a really, really big festival. So it means it's R&B and it's jazz. So there's R&B stage and a jazz stage. And what they do is they do R&B, and then they take a 30-minute right over here to the jazz stage, and they come back to R&B, jazz, R&B. So Jodeci's on it, Charlie Wilson's on it, In Vogue, Damien Escobar, it's myself, Marcus Anderson, Nathan Mitchell, and Rebecca Jade, Brian Simpson, Jakeem Joyner. So there's a lot of people on this festival. It's a 5-day festival. It goes from Wednesday to Sunday. And
Can you
that's
tell
what
Damien I say hi?
I tell him. I'm
My whole
alternating
body-
with Damon.
My whole body just.
So it's like that's what these festivals are. So I play the festivals, I play the shows, I play individual shows, I do team shows. So I do shows all over the place. But it's always nice to do these festivals. It's like a cruise too. A cruise on land. I did the Dave Cos cruise last year.
Right.
3 weeks, 3 sailings of the Dave Cos cruise, and it's the same thing. You're on the cruise. You got all these different artists all over the place, and you got to really go and kind of map your day out as to who you're going to see at what lounge and then what major show. So that's what a lot of these festivals are, lifestyle festivals. Right. And these cruises, and so that's the personnel that you get at these places. It's not cheap, but it's by design. One, you have to you have to pay the artists, but two, you're paying for the experience.
Right.
So it's almost like you're going on a vacation or on a resort, because when you buy a ticket to this show, you can buy for the whole time and stay at a beautiful resort and just go to these shows. And so that's the purpose of that. And so as we get older, as we mature, as we get a little more money in the bank, more disposable income, then we start to gravitate to shows like this. And so that's
maybe that's why I've never been, because I ain't evolved or
she talking about
a disposable income. What is that like?
Yeah, she got disposable.
That's not like buying sodas. Or
well,
something.
you got your boy who,
Splurging
if you ever
sodas.
said you was gonna come out, I put her on the list. So
so one of the things that also sounds like it takes a toll on your body, and Stream is here to also let our audience get more familiar with people.
Yeah.
As an artist, as a black man, because as black people, we deal with a lot of health issues, period. What toll has that taken on your body?
And it's a lot of times it's self-inflicted, because being on the road, you develop bad eating habits. You're eating at all times of night, all that you're drinking. And it's not particularly somebody that's always been health conscious like I am. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna eat a full, greasy meal and then do this and do that. It's not that. It's all right, I'm gonna eat these cookies on the plane. Right. I'm gonna get a drink because I'm in first class. I'm gonna be at the Sky Club and I'm gonna eat this cookie. I'm gonna eat that. And that at the end of the day, you've eaten like 10 cookies,
right?
And you're still hungry, and you ate that, but you ate a salad for dinner, so you feel like you're good. You know what I mean? You wake up and go to the breakfast buffet. I'm gonna get this. I need to get energy. So I'm gonna eat a bagel. I'm gonna eat a waffle. I'm gonna eat this, and it just adds up. And with the traveling and the weird times and the running through the airports, it catches up to you. And as you get older, particularly as black men.
Right.
You know, that's why I tell black men, go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor,
Go to the doctor and get checked out, because you don't have to feel a certain way to have high blood pressure. You're not even going to feel a certain way. But for me, I started to my sleep wasn't good. You know what I mean? I didn't get restful sleep. It was tough for me to get to sleep, and when I did, I had to get right up. Or you got 4 o'clock, you do a show, you finish the show at 12. The promoter wants to talk and maybe have a drink after the show. You get back to the hotel at 2, then you got a lobby call at 4:30 in the morning and catch a 6 o'clock flight.
Wow.
And so then you're just going. So again, go to the doctor. I went to the doctor. I got diagnosed with, he said my blood pressure was high. He said my A1C was high in the diabetic range.
Okay.
And I'm like, whoa, okay. And I've had people my age, some of my friends and partners, we're losing a lot of people, you know, just falling out. And this is the age, particularly with black men, when you started hearing the old school black, your daddy's, man, he just had a heart attack, fell out.
Right, just fell
you
out.
know, and that's usually the 50 to 60 range, right? Just started to lose a lot of black men. So that's what, you know, I want to live. I got a lot of living to do. So I don't want to be, you can go out and fall off a roof or whatever, easy enough. You don't have to add any you improve your ratio, decrease your ratio of living by living bad. So I made some lifestyle changes. I dropped 23 pounds since November.
I can't stand, man. I said no one ever.
Look,
I could never say I dropped 23 pounds since November unless I starve myself. I can't stand men.
Look.
Just since November.
That
was 4 months ago.
Y'all be living forever. Be all happy. Men be all dead and gone.
No, see,
and women be just happy, nice and juicy, well fed. They be like all juicy.
Not
Look at your
all
grandma.
women.
Grandma just juicy. You know, still juicy. Grandma's still juicy. And grandfather,
women.
granddaddy gone.
No, because once you get 40, 45, you know, heart disease is a big thing with African American black women.
Yeah,
so I realized my own immortality when I hit the 40 mark. And I was like, I'm halfway to 50. Yeah. You know, so it does change.
Yeah, and you got your son where you want to see your son. You got people that you're living for. And, you know, and so, you know, for me, it was a wake-up call. So I've had so much, you know, cookies and so many Reese's Pieces, and so I ate a whole bag of Jolly Ranchers, and I've eaten my fill of candy and chocolate and all that stuff. So I didn't miss it, you know. So I stopped everything cold turkey. I stopped all of the chocolate and everything. And then I started to gravitate towards some of these Quest bars that would give me a little fix of chocolate, but it's not bad. And then you know, I just changed what I ate in the morning. I ate a lot of fruit. You know, eggs, and, you know, getting more protein in, cut a lot of the salt out. I had my first 3 weeks after I was diagnosed, I ate no salt. I was like, I'm not adding salt to nothing. And I just bland. And everything started coming down, started losing weight, went back to the gym. And, you know, it also didn't help that I had that rotator cuff surgery because I tore my rotator cuff. You know, ended up sedentary, ended up scared to do anything, got back in the gym, hurt this arm, you know, so then I tore this one. So, you know, you start working out, you're like, woo, I'm doing good, I'm back. Woo. No, I'm not back. And
you got to hold that horn. So
you got to hold the horn and everything. So, I got serious, and my A1C came back down, my blood pressure came back down within normal limits. And so, you know, I'm on a mission. I'm making sure I work out. Normally, I would have said, I've got this interview, so I'm not going to work out because I got to get on the road and do a whole week in Arizona, blah, blah, blah. I would have said, nah, I'll do it. And then, you know, I just, walking in the airport is enough exercise. Right. No, let me be dedicated and go get this workout.
Go to the gym and then be late for the show.
I go work this. No, I called, so I'm on time. See, I'm not a ninja, right? Didn't I send you some ninja?
You did send me some ninjas.
I said, I'm not a ninja, right? I've actually called, unlike some ninjas.
You did.
And said, hey, is it possible, you know? Maybe is it possible?
No, you kind of Jedi mind trick. You was like 1:30.
Yeah, right. 1:30,
absolutely.
Right?
It's fine.
1:30?
So
that's fine. But I got here, I was 1:20, right?
Lynn, do you have any other hobbies outside of playing the horn?
At this point,
creative process.
At this point, not really. I mean, I love information. So I don't know if you call that a hobby, but I love information. I love documentaries. I find documentaries to watch on anything.
Okay.
You know, I like series here or there. You know, but if they have a historical, you know, background to it, I love it even more. But I'm a junkie for documentaries, so I love the information. I love to explore lives and biographies of people, musicians, and how things evolved. And so I don't know if you consider that a hobby, but it's something
does it bring you joy?
It brings me joy. It takes time, and it's not music sometimes, even though I find something that's
even
related
though
to music.
you was like the lives of old musicians.
Yeah, right.
Fast,
Live old musicians. The Lenny Kravitz documentary on his concerts. And I found all these obscure documentaries. And, like I said, that's how I got into the Jay Dilla documentaries. I found a whole bunch of stuff and just watching interviews and doing research. But that's what I find, very enjoyable outside of music at this point. And then,
if that relaxes you and that's part of your self-care, that's dope.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I'm here to promote. Everybody needs to find their thing to make sure that they decompress.
Yeah. And also, I'm an avid biker.
Like what
not your type of bike.
I don't ride a motorcycle anymore.
With the leather jackets. The leather jackets
That's
and
the time
boots
of the
and
past.
stuff, and going to them
and boots and
in
stuff.
the boots and stuff.
A helmet.
I didn't see too many helmets. All I saw was Rough Rider jackets and leather jackets. All
So
anyway,
you ride a bike?
Biker, road bike, and so that
don't hurt your ass.
you get used to it.
Bikes hurt my ass.
Well, because you got to keep doing it.
I did it once.
That's the problem.
It hurt.
You develop calluses, right? And the calluses after a few times, now you can ride. And you're supposed to have the butt pad biker shorts too. Did you have those?
No, I didn't know it wasn't a requirement when we was kids. I thought you could just ride a bike.
Biker shorts, not just for wearing out,
So do you do the groups, like with the group of people that be coming through my
Nah,
neighborhood?
I don't do the group stuff. That's the little with the little lights and stuff on their bikes.
Well, no, not the slow roll, the fast rollers. The ones
that
be
big.
bent over. I mean, are you a slow roll or a fast roll?
No,
Are you somewhere in the middle?
I am one of these, but I'm not in the group. So
you ain't got time to be in a group. You're always on the road. You'll be kicked out of the group.
My boy, I'm telling on Julian Vaughn, who's a great bassist. He's my boy. We got a little text group chat, and he put in the text he buying one of those electric bikes. I'm like, really? Because of the real bikers don't like them electric bikes. We be out there riding, huffing and puffing, and then you see somebody 70, 80 years old, a little couple on their little electric bikes, look at you, they turn, look at you, said, I'm just like, whoa. And so he said he getting one. I'm like, all right, man, that's crazy.
They don't.
But no, that's what I do, and that for me, I'll go on rides that are 25, 30 miles.
I know, right?
And
why people do that?
Because it's just so relaxing. You get out there, you put your music on, and it's just you, the road, and the bike, and you block everything out, and you can just really, it's almost like meditation. Wow. But you're also getting a good workout in. It's fresh air. You're getting, depending on where you go, you're seeing, normally times you be driving by all of this stuff. Now you're riding and you have a little more time to see, oh, look at this here.
I love
look at
that for you.
And you get to where
Just
you're going.
for you.
And the other issue is, though, you feeling good. You ride, I'm going to keep going.
And you got to get back home,
you
right?
always have to realize, I got to go back. And it's the same distance. However far I go is the same distance back. So let me stop exploring, because I did that. I got all the way to Huron Valley somewhere. I started out on the M5 trail in West Bloomfield and got all the way out to Huron Valley. And I'm like, yeah, this is dope. Dang, I got to go back, man. Ooh. But
and you ain't have no Cliff Bars.
No, well, you take a bar, you take some Gatorade and all that stuff. You load up a little bit. But then going back is never as bad. Going back is boom.
Really?
Going towards, wherever you're going is always a little tougher because you don't know.
Okay.
But going back, even though you've done a trail over and over again, going back is easier because boom, 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 and you home in about an hour.
So now that you're warmed up, right? 8 albums, working on 9. Name them.
The Message, Something Good.
Are you gonna start? You started from. You wasn't gonna start from the. You can't name them in order.
The Message is my latest one.
Okay, and then Fluid was.
Then Rountree is the first one.
Okay, so you're gonna start at the top.
You want me to start?
No, okay.
Do you want me to do this or see what I mean? You name my album.
No, I see. The Message, Fluid, Rountree, Something Good, Serendipity.
Serendipitous.
This. Okay, so the other 3 on
That's
you,
only
bro.
5.
I ain't make them.
5.
I don't even get tickets to the concert.
Yes,
I know
you
5 albums. Most of your fans don't know 5 albums.
Soultree, the Soul Jazz Experience, right? Soultree, the Soul
Yeah,
Jazz.
I agree.
Soul Funky.
Soul
Funky, one of my dopest
and there's
ones.
another soul something, I'm sure.
Soultree, the Soul Jazz Experience.
That's 2.
Yeah, and Soul Funky.
I think we missing one.
Did we miss one? That's 8.
No, soul jazz funky is the same one.
Soul Jazz Funky. No, Soul Funky and Soul Jazz Experience are 2 different ones. All right, so let's go for the front. It's good when you would not remember. All right, so Groove Tree was number 1, 2005. 2008, I came out with Something Good, right? Mm-hmm. My third project was I left BDK Records and produced independently Soultree, the Soul Jazz Experience in 2010.
Right.
I remember that because that's when my mother passed. After that, I was signed with the label Serendipitous. And then there was Soul Funky. And then there was Soul Funky. Then there was, I got Serendipitous, Soul Funky, Stronger Still.
That's what you
Fluid,
didn't name.
And then The Message.
That's what you didn't name. That was 8.
That was 8.
Yeah, he said that one title, like the one that had a 2-parter. He said that like that
Soul
was
Jazz Experience.
right. You said that like that was 2 different albums.
No, it's one album.
Well, she over there counting them as 2. I'm like, no, you missed.
That's my buddy right there. That's my buddy. That's the value in having a good engineer.
Yeah, she's
for your
great.
podcast, right?
So on Groove Tree, you had a song called The Message, and now you have an album called The Message.
You want me to tell you about the story? You gonna answer it? That is an interesting story that nobody knows.
Go ahead. Nobody knows. You
Nobody
sure?
knows.
Okay, tell me.
I may have said it one time. No one was listening.
I'm listening.
So I was on Facebook, like you are, all the time. And somebody tagged me in something, and I went and looked, and it was some people dancing. I'm like, what? People tag me in all kind of stuff. I'm like, whatever. I wasn't in a place where I could actually hear what was going on. So, out of sight, out of mind. A week later, I said, let me go back and see what I was tagged in. These people are dancing to my song, The Message, right? Mm. And the tag was the post was like from 2 years prior, and I started going through the comments, and the comments were, "Oh, this is a great song. Who was this?" And nobody knew. For 2 years, nobody knew who this song was, and nobody thought to go Google it. You know what I mean?
They didn't care that much.
They didn't care that much, but it was a dope song. Well, you know how people. That's what I'm saying. That's why we do our marketing, because people have very short attention spans. Great song. All right, and that's what we're eating tonight. So finally somebody, you always got that one person. Oh man, that's Lynn Rountree and blah blah blah, and they tagged me, right? And so I was like, thank you guys, and I realized that. Here it is, 15 years later, and people are still dancing to this song. I don't think the song got its just due. And I was in my process of putting the album together like I am now, and I needed a theme. And the theme was, okay, how can I revive this song? And isn't it a blessing to be in a position that I can do a remake on one of my own songs? I don't have to do a cover tune of somebody else's song. I can actually remake my own song and do an instrumental version. And in fact, because of that, let's name this next album The Message.
Wow.
And so that'll highlight not only the song, but it also takes me back to, and this, I think, takes me back to where my spirit was on Groove Tree. Because my spirit on Groove Tree, I didn't know anything about the music. I didn't know anything about recording. I was playing at the Key Club, playing at Floods. Somebody afterwards was like, "Hey man, you got a CD? Can we buy a CD?" No, I don't have one. But then what they call it? Business Rountree came in.
Professional jazz artist.
Professional jazz artist,
right? With a business degree from FAMU.
I got a business degree from Florida A&M University School of Business and Industry. You have to make that distinction. School of SBI. And that took hold, and I just made it because I love the music. And after that, when we started to get some success on Groove Tree, then we started doing what I'm telling these young cats not to do is, hey, let's make a smooth jazz hit, because that's who's going to embrace me. Let's go in smooth jazz. And for a while, that it, people are brutal, and I love the brutal reviews.
Right.
Your family's going to say, oh, that's great, blah, blah, blah. I want to hear industry people tear me apart or say something that's constructive. And the one constructive thing I saw, is like, I don't know what Rountree's doing. I think it's on my 3rd CD or 4th CD. I don't know what Rountree's doing. I had high hopes for him. He was like, but he's kind of left me and gone into the smooth jazz, pot of gumbo. That's what he literally said. I'm gonna find that quote and post it again. But he said he's in the smooth jazz pot of gumbo. Well, everybody likes gumbo, but
it simmers and you're just there.
It's just there, right?
Yeah,
for days and days
until it turns into gravy.
And you can't find no more shrimp. You're done. But anyway, I said, yeah, that really hit me because I always wanted to kind of toe the line. I wanted to be avant-garde and outside. You don't want to be an alien because you want people to play stuff. But so this latest project, it was produced a lot by me. But even the collaborations I did with other artists, other producers, had a lot of my fingerprint on it. And so I said, look, and then I work with my man Demetrius Neighbors, who we've been trying to get together for years and years and years. Great keyboardist here, great MD, wrote songs for Kim. We finally were able to get together and pump out the title track, The Message, and 2 other songs. And the song Can't Wait. On the CD is a song that I said I want to do a song because one of my favorite R&B songs, my favorite Michael Jackson songs, is "Lady in My Life." I just love that song because I love the way it just flows. And you talk about a dope vamp. That's a classic vamp. That's the best vamp I've ever heard in a recorded song. Mm-hmm. Where he just, ooh, baby, I want to really, the lady. You want me to be animated? See, I talk about the music,
but I don't know what happened.
And then he comes back in with a boom, ooh, baby. You know what I mean? That's so dope. And it's like a 7-minute song. Right. And so I wanted to make a song like that. And so that's where it was the inspiration for Can't Wait. I said, man, let's make a song like that. The label was like, they were like, man, it's a 7-minute song. It was like, but it's dope. It's got everything. It's got R&B. It's got, it's got the vamp. It's got the second vamp where we take it down, come back in. And it's got the rock guitar solo in the back.
I just realized something.
What?
I need to find a 7-minute brother and listen to Can't Wait.
On the stream, live on the stream process.
Hey, welcome to stream.
Podcast,
if
right.
you know me, then you know.
Yeah.
Welcome to stream. That's why they love me. That's why you love me. You know what I mean? My colorful self.
No comments.
Hey, it's all good. All good. All good. So you seem to be doing well, balancing everything. Are you okay, black man?
I am okay, black woman. Okay.
We gotta ask because a lot of times people don't care.
Yeah, nobody asks. I've seen all of the posts and all that stuff about black men and mental health, and I think that's something. I'm old school, and blame it on my father because he's definitely old school. We wear the weight of the world. We don't complain about stuff that we can't control. We keep it moving. There are men, however, who I've recognized I've been really hard on other men in terms of telling them to pick themselves up and do their, do your job and stop complaining, stop whining. You're not a woman and blah blah blah. In my past, but as we're getting into this new age, these new social media and these kids, and I can't be as tough on black men like that. I have to understand and recognize that there is, a lot of stress, and there should be an opportunity for a lot of these guys to be able to vent and cope with their stress as opposed to internalizing it and just pushing it out. But that was my whole thing. The more stress you have, the harder you work, the more you push it out. And it seems to work for me, but I can't be like that type of guy with some of these with everything that's going on nowadays and the changing environment,
everybody's
social
so
media.
Sensitive.
Everybody's sensitive. So I have to be sensitive as well.
Really?
But
I'm working on that.
I'm of the adage that look, if you're not dead and if it didn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Right.
And let's keep going. I'm not the one that's going to jump off a building. I love life too much. If I lost everything today, and actually 2010, I went through a real bad period, and it was tough. I knew you back then.
Yeah, I remember.
I lost my job, and I was calling Marvin on the phone. Here I am with a degree from, the School of Business and Industry at Florida A&M University, came out making good money, had company cars, all that other stuff, they took my cars, they took my Tahoe. Do you remember when they took my Tahoe?
Took my Tahoe.
Do you remember when they took my Tahoe?
I remember when they took your Tahoe,
Yeah,
but you got another one, right?
Eventually, about 10 years later. But they took my Tahoe, man, and then said I couldn't. They like, all you can get is is this Impala, this 5-year-old Impala. That was the blow for me. I was like, I lost my mama. She just passed away. Lost my job. The record label went belly up. That's when I was on Soul Tree, the Soul Jazz Experience, and that's why I remember that, because I put that CD in my mother's hand in the casket, and I said, my mom will keep going. This is it. I was built for this. You prepared me for all of this. I'm not gonna go jump off a bridge, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out here that are broke, and I don't have to pay these. There's this thing called bankruptcy. So we'll be all right.
Yeah, bankruptcy is cool. Yeah. So we are coming to a close soon, but I'm happy you brought up your mom, because I am so proud of you. Do you ever think about what she would say to you now?
Yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, my baby, look at my baby, he come." And I just went to Norfolk this past weekend. I played in Virginia, where my mom was buried, where all her 15 sisters and brothers lived and were from, and my father's family. So they all came out to see me. A lot of them came out to see me, and the two matriarchs of the family, older than my mom, the two older sisters, they brought them out. That, to me, was incredible. My Aunt Dorothy, my Aunt Marlene, and all my cousins came out. But seeing those two in the audience who look just like my mama, because they all look just alike. But to see them sitting out there, to ask it's amazing you just asked that question, because this just happened. Right. I saw my mother out there. I saw my mother watching through them.
You gonna make me cry? I was trying to make you cry.
Oh, you make me cry. I told you I'm good. I'm good. I have my time.
Maybe I got mental health issues.
I'm good.
So what do you hear?
What you mean? What I hear?
I mean, her voice. Well, you seen her face. So.
Yeah. No. I mean, I hear her say, "That's my baby. I'm proud. I'm so." And she talked to me. She was my biggest advocate. And she loved everything. She had my picture, on her thing next to her mantle, and at work when I went to work, her last day of work, I saw my picture all on her stuff. You know what I mean? So I was her world. I was the only child. So I mean, right. my sister passed away, so I ended up being the only child. So everything was me. And I just regret. And I tell people now, if you got mama still alive, and she bothers you, it's a little irritating. I would give anything for my mama to call and irritate me again. You know what I mean? Because you just don't get that. Right. When it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, my mama used to come, what's she talking about now? She talking about my baby. Mom, stop. Now I would give anything to hear that. Right. So I'm just telling anybody any advice I can give, just appreciate your mother. Appreciate everybody while they're here. Because you don't get a second chance.
You don't get a second chance. Just like this show is over.
So
I would like to thank the audience for tuning in to stream today. I would like to thank you, brother, 20 pounds lighter. And we'll call you 20 pounds. 20 pounds. Mr. Lynn Rountree, the professional jazz trumpeter.
Professional jazz trumpeter. I'm gonna put that in writing.
I am so happy that you came to see me today,
Thank you,
late. And real quick, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you. I know it's LynnRountree.com. You got your own .com,
yeah,
right?
LynnRountreeMusic.com. So
LynnRountrieMusic.com. And where can they find you and follow you?
IG, Instagram, for those that don't know the acronym. Facebook and Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot less. What's called X now? It's kind of weird. I just repost stuff on X. But as far as Facebook and IG. But when you go to LynnRountreeMusic.com, all the hyperlinks to all of my sites are there, and then you can sign up for my newsletter, and I send out regular updates through newsletter specials. I'm coming out. We got some T-shirts coming, so we'll give you special discounts.
You got T-shirts
on T-shirt. We got some bling bling T-shirts coming. So it's gonna be good. We get the fan club. If you're wearing a T-shirt, you get a discount on some of the tickets that come into my shows. You might even get on a list like Lake,
It's an invisible list. Okay, love bugs. That's it for stream today, and I thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.